Hello everybody, welcome back to the Ketchup Café, where I catch up with old friends, new friends, or myself. It's been a while. I decided to take a little summer holiday, but I'm back, so today it's just going to be a catch up with myself at the Ketchup Café here, and yeah, there's a lot to talk about, but I intentionally took the time off during the summer just to recalibrate, to be in the present, and I did a lot of reflecting, a bit of growing, and actually did a lot of manifesting. I didn't expect that and I didn't plan for that, but yeah, get ready for season 3 because this is the season 2 finale episode. So thanks for joining us, but stay till the end where I share more about some of the things that I'm manifesting on season 3, some exciting things. So here we go. So today at the Ketchup Cafe, I concocted a little drink catered more to my own taste buds since catching up with myself. It's a bit of a long name, so hopefully one day I'll have a cuter and shorter name, but for now it's called the Strawberry Cheese Foam Cold Brew Green Tea Latte. And on top there's also a little surprise sprinkle. So I'm just gonna take a sip right now, and what I mean by surprise sprinkle on top, you're gonna hear it, you're gonna be able to experience it with me. So just get ready for a little ASMR session right now. So I'm just gonna take a sip. I don't know if any of you caught that, but if you can hear just a bit of like sparkly noises going on in my mouth, that's Pop Rocks. And for those who don't know what Pop Rocks is, it's just basically popping candy. Pretty nostalgic for me. It's been a long time since I've had it. But yeah, I would say this drink is very me because I'm always looking for, or like at least when I walk into coffee shop, I'm looking for something strong. So I usually go with a cold brew in the summer, but I also want it to be creamy but not watered down. So the strawberry cheese foam on top is really thick, so it makes it like really creamy. But I didn't want it to just end there because you could just get that anywhere. So I was just thinking, it's not too sweet, the cheese foam that I've made. I don't know what went to my brain, but popping candy was like something that I just really wanted to try out, and I added it on, and I feel like the experience was one of a kind. Like I never went through that sensory experience where it's kind of fun. So definitely give that a try. All ingredients and how to make it is going to be on the Instagram, so it's at the Ketchup Cafe, and if you're on YouTube, it's just under my full name, NASYAWONG, and you can check out how to make it. But on the side, I also wanted to pair it with a brunch. So what inspired me was I was gifted this Takashi Murakami mini frying pan, and also came with like a Japanese magazine from a dear friend of mine. And I just really wanted to make something with it. And the magazine that it came with recipes. Like you can make egg like omelets with it. It's really like there's like the imprint of the Takashi Murakami flower. So anything you make will have that face on it, the iconic flower face. So it also had a recipe for pancakes. So I kind of went along those lines. I really wanted to make pancakes with the flower face on it, but I didn't want to just make pancakes. I'm more of like I like sweet and savory. Let's just say that. So I was just brainstorming what I could do. Not really like chicken and waffle. It's not really a waffle. But during that time frame, I was really craving, like these few weeks, like I've just really been craving McGriddles. So if you don't know what a McGriddle is, it's basically a breakfast sandwich from McDonald's, but the two pieces of like bread, or what sandwiches it all together, is made with the McCakes, or like the pancakes at McDonald's. So I thought, I have all the ingredients, or it's not hard to get. Why not make a Takashi Murakami homemade McGriddle? So I made it, and let's just say it's like the best combination of sweet and savory. So if you like that combo, I would definitely recommend trying it out. And at the end, you just drizzle a little bit of maple syrup on top, and yeah, it's so good. It's so filling though. So if you need to like share it with someone, do it, because it's like so filling. But yeah, I have that on the side with my drink. But yeah, I just thought I wanted to catch up a bit on the podcast at the Ketchup Café, because there's just a lot of thoughts on my mind, and that's sort of what we do at a cafe. We sit back and we just, when we're by ourselves, we either do some work, or we just, journal or reflect, just take some me time. So yeah, thanks for spending some me time with me right now. It's just a lot of thoughts to process, but what I've learned is, to take things one thing at a time. I get overwhelmed quite easily, but a really good way for me to be less overwhelmed, well, what works for me is to-do lists. It's really sad. It's almost like a game. So I just break it down to everything that I need to do daily, weekly, monthly. And then you get to just cross things out. And that really helps me actually get things done. But I think it's a combination of like learning how to do self-care, like take care of yourself. And learning how to communicate effectively, or in a healthy way with the people around you, to let them know what's up. And yeah, I think those things in combination has helped me de-stress and be less overwhelmed when I'm feeling a little antsy. But sometimes you forget, or at least I forget. And I caught myself, being extremely overwhelmed in situations this summer, I guess. Just a lot of things happened all at once, and a lot of, I guess, no one was really putting that pressure on me. I'm my own biggest enemy here, but I put a lot on my plate, and I wanted to make sure, I didn't let anyone down. But at the end, I suffered the most, and I looked back and, I have to take responsibility of setting those boundaries and being discipline but have grace on myself. So I actually, really look up to the version I was in 2020. And I think that's when I started this podcast. Yeah. I was definitely in like a different mind space, probably one of my best mind space so far in my life. And some of the things I was very consistent in was, definitely prioritizing healthier habits, like mentally and physically, diet-wise, just all around. That was the time when I just really took time to take care of myself. And the second portion was also like reflecting, journaling, but daily, like every morning I started with that. And I also, did reading to, learn, like get some new knowledge, not just stay in the same mindset. It was like an evolved mindset. So I was very consistent with that, like every day, which over time I felt this positivity and this safe mindset. Like I felt strong. And these days I recognize that I'm cracking, like I'm falling behind with my habits. So these days I really took some time to recalibrate my habits. And it's definitely effective. So, all those self-help or, self-betterment things that you see online, like it can be a rubbish to anyone, but coming from a super skeptical person that doesn't like to be told what to do, this is the journey that I'm going through. It's but lots of ups and downs. And I think the overarching theme you might have noticed is I'm kind of lost. I'm kind of a lost human being. I'm not sure if any of you feel that way, but I'm not afraid to share that. But I'm also not trying to brand myself where I'm only a lost human. I'm a lost human trying to figure it out. And, I think in 2020, I started this healing journey and it was super effective. But, as 2021 was crazy, but I was able to use things that I've learned in 2020 to be in the moment, to solve problems logically, to, be less reactive, but, still have emotions and face the things I had to face in 2021. But when I went into 2022, it was almost like I was stuck in that just problem-solving robotic mode. And I think in order for me to like self-soothe, I could only, I was like programmed to just be robotic. And I don't like to phrase it like this, but to just get through life. And in a way, like I wasn't sad, like I wasn't down, I was just living. But it was through, some deep conversations I had with a close friend that made me realize maybe I lost my sense of self. And that moment, that realization, when that moment came, it was so scary because I think maybe I was in denial. I wasn't even aware that I was just robotically programmed to live my day-to-day life. But it was almost like I let go of my dreams. I think that's something significant they brought up, and I think that really scared me. Like, I'm really appreciative that they were able to bring this to light to help me understand that, but I don't think I even realized that, because I thought maybe during this chapter I was challenging myself, learning new things in a different field, in my 9 to 5, but I didn't realize that I guess I got lazy and I settled for complacency, like comfort, and I put my dreams down because it just seemed unrealistic. But that's exactly the mindset that I guess makes up who I was and who I'm meant to be in the past, is where I had unrealistic dreams, but somehow I had hope that if I put the work in, it would happen. And maybe this is like the growing pains of adulthood. I'm not sure, but I felt, it's so cliche, but it's like one of those cliche stories of artist had a dream, was told that it wasn't realistic, and then gave up their dream to be just the salary person. I almost fell into that. I think I was living that narrative. And so this summer I took the time to just really dig deep about what was happening, like, in my mind. Like, how could I let go of my dreams? Like, that's basically what makes up who I am. And I think it made me realize that maybe, like, I was chasing just to be average. I don't like to admit that, but it's like being different and chasing something so unrealistic is so much harder than just doing the norm and just playing it safe. But back in the days when I was creating, like, daily, if it was for myself or for school, regardless, risk taking, doing things that were not the norm, being okay with it, that's what that gave me fuel. And it almost, it built the brand. I had another brand called SAS. It stood for Serious About Soul. That was the manifesto. And the reason why I stopped creating for that, not permanently, but, temporarily, is because I realized I wasn't living the manifesto that I wrote there. So I would say, like, it's funny that the thing that I wrote to try to inspire the world inspired myself. I really need to hear and read that message back. And it's just all about, not giving up on your dreams, but not letting the world tell you that. Just having faith that even if it doesn't, or it does work out, that's who you're meant to be, and you just fight for it. And I think that is the message I need to hear myself. And so I'm slowly getting back into that flow, finding that fire again, because I think the big issue across, like, the episodes where I catch up with myself is finding that sweet spot, that balance between having a 9 to 5 but also having a creative career on the side. It's like I see people do it. I know it can be done. But when I was, like, living and breathing that, it was so hard to, like, get off work and then think of being in that mindset to, like, hustle for something that was so unrealistic, that didn't seem like there was an end goal. It's like, why put in the effort? And I think that was the call out I had, from my friend. I'm really thankful for that, because that challenge, it was uncomfortable hearing that. Not gonna lie, but it was through that self-reflection that made me realize, if I don't want it, I'll never be able to make those into reality. I can just keep dreaming. And yeah, that makes me upset, because if I put myself in third person, seeing someone else, have a dream but aren't able to have the motivation, it would suck. So I guess I'm telling myself that, and trying to see that as the third person, and I'm just trying to motivate myself. But when I think about it, and I go to the root of the issue, it all comes to motivation. If I was motivated, I would get it done. I think if anyone knew me, I'm pretty goal oriented. So if you give me a task, you give me a challenge, give me, a due date or something, I'm pretty driven to get the job done, and I'm confident in myself to get the job done. But what happened was, for my creative projects and whatnot, there was no harsh deadline, because I could just say, oh, I don't feel like it, and then not do it. So I realized that motivation is not just like a feeling, it's a decision, it's a choice. So I actually have the responsibility to create that motivation. But realistically, I was like, that's what got me. I was like, how? I had no idea how. And that led me into like a deeper mind space that I realized I was lacking passion. Like, I let go of my dreams because I wasn't that passionate anymore. And when I go one step deeper, it's like I didn't understand what the purpose was anymore. Like, I lost grip of that. And so throughout, the summer, it was like constant conversations with myself, of just trying to find back the origin purpose of why I create. And then that led to, some slow passion sparking. And I think that's the fuel. That's the magic fuel to my motivation. Because when I'm driven about something, I'm definitely going to make it happen. And I felt that small sparks, little flame. I have grace on myself. Like, I'm not trying to, like push myself like tomorrow, but it's setting like realistic goals and actually sticking to them. I think that's the key thing. It's the discipline of sticking to them, even though they seem like there's no consequence to not doing it, but I just have to commit. And when I commit, it means like you're going all in. So this workflow has been interesting to experience because it's all in my head. So it's really helpful for me to write this out in like a notebook. Like, I set some general intentions I like have like for that month. Like, I guess this comes with like the workflow of manifesting. I know this word's thrown out like everywhere, but what that means to me is really like putting things on paper. But like, when you put it on paper, it's almost like there's no limit. No one's judging you. You just put it on the paper. You can think really big, and then you can get, you can edit them. You can get more realistic of like, okay, for this month, what is the theme? Like, what do I want to focus on? Like, if you want to focus on like friendship or like learning one skill, you write that down, or I write that down. And then I get nitty gritty and I set up like daily goals of like, this is a due date. I have to do this on this specific date, or I have to, by this day, I have to be done this certain thing, and I just have to stick to it. I mean, things happen in life, so give and take, but it's having responsibility to myself of delivering that. Kind of like being your own boss. But like if you were like a forgiving boss, when things happen, you wouldn't fire them. You would just give them more time, but still have that expectation that the task is done. So it's really having that mindset with myself to keep myself accountable. I think that was the really difficult part. But, these days I'm learning. And I think the more consistent I am with this mindset, the easier it will be. But, like on the lighter note, when I was in that mind space to like manifest things, like that's when I really was able to go back to my childhood dreams or things that get me excited. And like lots of visuals play in my brain of like what inspires me. And I guess as an artist or as a creator, it's almost the power of bringing those things to life is empowering. So I just look towards things that I really looked up to, or creatives out there, and it's almost just like you're picking like things from different parts of things that you like and trying to apply it for yourself. And then there'll be just a bunch of like trial and error, and you like it's going to be a journey of like discomfort. But I think that's the choice like artists have to make. It's like gonna be a tough journey, but deciding to go on that journey first and being okay with the criticism, like I guess being okay with that there's no return. I think those are hard realities to accept, but it's almost part of it. So some things that I've been getting excited about is I really love food, and I love like concocting drinks and just like home cooking. And I really love sharing meals with people, getting to know people more and about their stories. So I'm really excited for season 3 because I want to bring that energy, that fun energy into the episode. So I might be changing up the formatting. It might be a bit more chaotic, and I'll be figuring it out. It might not be perfect the first go, but you know what? I'm just going to let the perfectionism or the perfectionist inside of me go, and I'm just going to hit record, get some people to, have a meal or, talk about things and just have a good time. Like I want this space to be fun, collaborative, and the sense of community. I know that like a lot of platforms focus on that, But like what I want to focus here at the Ketchup Café is just a bunch of different people from different backgrounds being okay and comfortable being themselves on their journey, on my journey. All our journeys are completely different, but just coming together and supporting each other, hearing everyone out, and also just experience, good cuisine, not just like from a specific culture, like learning about each other's cultures and, sharing food and drinks, stories, backgrounds. Like those are the things that I live for, and I want to be able to create this space to do this with the people in my life. So yeah, that's what I'm really excited about, and I'm excited to work on it. I have no parameters, but I'm trying to let go of like the very logical part of my brain. I think I've been running way too much on logic throughout my decision making, and I think the beauty of creating for me back in the days was it really felt limitless. I know like budget wise it can't be always limitless, but it's like thinking big. Like that's what I really enjoyed, and I'm really excited that I have this space where I can just freely share whatever's on my mind, or share awesome people in my life and what they're doing, and just experience like a diverse group of people, because that's life. We meet a bunch of people with a bunch of experiences, and then it's about growing together and then making each other like stronger. I think that's what I also love, and so I want to be able to manifest that into this space as I make more episodes. But yeah, thank you so much for just coming by, hearing me out about some of the things on my mind, and just coming along this journey with me. It's definitely a rocky one, but like I think for those who love a bit of chaos, but a bit of like wholesomeness, this is the place to be. We're just trying to be better people, but we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. So it's just about that open conversation and trying to be open-minded about different mindsets, I would say. I think breaking social standards and like I guess social expectations, like that's also something I really want to bring to this cafe. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's next, and I hope you are too. But anyways, thank you so much for coming by. Remember to check out the Instagram if you want to learn more about the recipes, the drink recipes, and if you want to support this podcast, just make sure you give us a rating, or turn on the notification, and just really helps out, and just really thankful that whoever's listening is here. So I hope you have a really good fall, autumn season, just manifesting good vibes for anyone out there as well. But yeah, I'll see you in season 3. All right, catch you later.